Hey developers, welcome back to Windows API Tricks for WinForms. Today, we'll unlock one of the coolest native Windows tricks, a full screen capture using the GDI BitBlt function. We'll capture the screen directly from the Windows Graphics Device Interface, GDI, convert it to an image, and show it right inside your WinForms app. No external libraries, no screenshots, just native API power. Let's jump in. Alright, let's roll up our sleeves. We're building a screen capture helper class that can take a screenshot of the entire screen, yes, just like the print screen key, but much cooler, because we control it. To talk directly to Windows, we'll use some legendary old-school functions from the Windows API, user32.dll and d32.dll. Those are the powerhouses behind most of the magic happening on your desktop. First up, we've got BitBlt. This little beast can copy pixels directly from one part of the screen to another. Think of it like a fast, pixel-level copier that doesn't ask questions, it just copies. Then, we've got Get Desktop Window. That's how we tell Windows, hey, give me the handle to the full desktop, I want everything you've got. Next, Get Windowed. That's our way of getting a device context. You can imagine it as a drawing surface that represents the screen. And finally, Delete DC and Delete Object, the cleanup crew. Without them, we'd be leaving behind a big memory mess, and Windows would not be happy. Now comes the fun part, Capture Screen. Inside, we grab the screen bounds from Screen. Primary Screen. Bounds. That gives us the size of our main display. Then, we create a bitmap with that size and a nice 32-bit ARGB pixel format, so we can even capture transparency if available. Using a graphics object, we get the HDC, basically, the handle to our bitmap's drawing surface. Then, we call BitBlt and say, copy all pixels from the desktop's DC into my bitmap. And just like that, snap, we've got a screenshot. When we're done, we release the handles and clean everything up. And the best part? The method just returns a beautiful bitmap that you can show in a picture box or save to a file. So, that's it, a native Windows screenshot in just a few lines of code. It's fast, it's clean, and it works even when some other methods fail to capture certain windows or overlays. There is an important issue in this code that we will need to fix later on. Can you find it? If not, don't worry, we will fix it together later. we adding two main elements, a button to trigger the screenshot, and a picture box to show the result. We set up our button with capture screen and sits right at the top of the form, docked neatly using dock style. Top. We're also giving it a bold Sego UI font to make it look clean and modern. When we click it we call Screen Capture Helper. Capture screen to grab the entire screen image. And once that's done it's showing up in the picture box. So let's try. Okay, seems like that is our issue that we discussed already. Let's fix together. We see in the error already what we need to change. Unable to find an entry point named BitBlt and DLL user 32.dll. Okay. So it seems we used the wrong DLL for this. So let's fix that and try again. So looks much better. But we have things to adjust for a better look and feel. So first one is to hide our form when we create a screenshot to exclude it from the image. And the second one is to save it directly after creation to use it later. So let's do both. We call Save Picture with Timestamp, a custom method that saves the captured image with a unique name based on the current date and time. This method finds your default pictures folder using environment get folder path. Creates a file name like screenshot_2025_1430000.png. And saves it right there. If everything works, it shows a message box telling you where the file was saved. If there's no image, it politely tells you that too. But the form is still visible in the screenshot. So let's fix that too with some easy lines of code. When we click it, the form temporarily hides itself by setting opacity to 0. That way, our app doesn't appear in its own screenshot. Then, we call Screen Capture Helper. Capture screen to grab the entire screen image, and once that's done, we bring the form back by setting opacity back to 1. Next, we call Save Picture with Timestamp. And that's it, a fully working screen capture in under 50 lines of code. Powered entirely by the Windows API and your C# skills. Let me know in the comments if we need to go one step further. Capture selected areas or specific windows or even add annotation tools to draw right on the screenshots. Stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe if you love these Windows API tricks.